Hi there everyone, I'm back today for week number 15 of Accutane. I thought that today was the perfect day to do a video because I was actually at the dermatologist earlier on, and I spoke about it in the last video, but there really isn't a lot to talk about in terms of how my treatment is going, just because the medication is working so well. My face looks great, I'm really happy, and I'm on the 4th month now, and I was really looking forward to this dermatology appointment so that I could speak to the dermatologist about my last 2 months of treatment. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past. I may have or I may not, but I don't instill a lot of confidence in my dermatologist, which is very unfortunate. Because dermatology is a specialized field, you really can't be too picky about who it is that you're choosing because waiting lists are so long already, and usually your doctor will give you a recommendation to a certain dermatologist. However, if you're not comfortable with your dermatologist or any healthcare professional, in my opinion, you should try and switch. If you have that luxury, if you have a lot of dermatologists in your area, if you have good connections, if you have a readily available system of some sort, then maybe shop around and see what dermatologist works for you, because I wish that I had done the same. And being a healthcare professional myself, I know how important it is to listen to patients and to answer questions and to make people feel comfortable and secure, which is unfortunately something that I haven't really gotten from my dermatologist. I only see him every 3 months. I saw him in December when I started my treatment. I saw him again in February, and I just saw him again today in March. I'll be seeing him for the final time, I hope, in July when my treatment is coming to a close. Now that my mic is fixed, I hope, I will just tell you guys about what had happened today. I won't really bother going over what happened the last couple of times, just because I feel like that would really drag on longer than it really needs to. I also didn't mention that my dermatologist is about 45 minutes away, so sometimes it feels like a waste when I drive for 45 minutes for what always feels like a 5-minute appointment, but it actually overall was a little more helpful than the last couple of times, so I guess it was kind of worth it. The first thing that happened when I got into the office was that he lost or couldn't find my most current blood work. I only just had blood work 2 weeks ago, and at first I was a little afraid because I wasn't sure if he could help me without the blood work, just because it needs to be done every month. So I said, no, I just got blood work done 2 weeks ago. Luckily he did find it, which was just, poor organization on his part. And for the most part, everything is good. Last month's tests actually revealed that my cholesterol level has gone up, which is something that they look for when they do the blood tests, but he's not concerned and everything else is good. Nothing has changed with my liver, which is the most important thing that they really look out for. So everything is good to go. I should be good for the last couple of months of treatment, and thank God that he found the blood work. It's actually kind of funny because when he asked me where my blood work was, he almost kind of implied, or at least I took it, that he implied that I didn't really need to get it done, just because the last 4 months of blood work has been great, nothing's changed. So he kind of jokingly said, "Where's your blood work? Did you just not get it done?" Whereas I think most doctors would say, "Why didn't you get your blood work done? Why don't I have your blood work? Your blood work needs to be done." But again, that can be taken many different ways. That could just be his own sense of humor, or maybe I just didn't read it the right way. But regardless, I have a 6-month doctor's order for that blood work, and I have been getting it done, more so for my own benefit than anything. It wouldn't matter if he needed to see that blood work or not. I would still do it anyways, and the urine test is mandatory every month regardless. I have to get a pregnancy test done every month as well, so might as well just go do the blood and the urine at the same time and get it all over and done with. So I'm glad at least that he found it, and when he did, everything was good. That's one less thing that I have to worry about. This time around, he didn't ask me about any of my symptoms, which is kind of strange because it's such symptomatic type medication. I did talk to him about possibly stopping Accutane early. The reason I needed to go and see him was because my prescription has ran out. He gave me a prescription for 4 months, so I needed to go back to him to get the last 2 months. I told him my treatment's going great, my face looks awesome, I'm so happy with how I look, and I just asked if I could stop or what his opinion on that was. He pretty much immediately said, nope, no, absolutely not, you must do 6 months, no exceptions. So I asked him why. If he's not going to let me stop, then he should at least give a reason. Luckily, he did. I actually found out something interesting. The reason that they put you on a long time period is because it actually has to do with how much medicine that you've absorbed through your body within the entire treatment. It actually has nothing to do with duration. So it's interesting. I asked, why does the treatment have to be 6 months? And then he explained to me that it depends on how much medication is in your body. So on my treatment, I'm required to have 7,500 milligrams in my body, or 75 milligrams that I've taken before the treatment is over. He calculated it out for me, which was great. I've taken 6,000 milligrams approximately so far, which means I only have to really be on the medication for about 40 more days, which is awesome. That's kind of somewhere in the middle. That's about a month and a half. So if I decided that I didn't want to do the last 20 days of 60, I technically could stop if I wanted to, and I would have taken enough medication to fulfill that number. So that's really cool. I didn't know that, so someone else might benefit from that as well, because I never really thought of it that way. I always thought that the medication was kind of time controlled and it worked better over time, but apparently that's not true. So when I told him that things were going really well and I would prefer to kind of have the treatment over as soon as possible, I then said, instead of giving me another 50 milligram prescription for 2 months, why don't we bump it up to 60 milligrams for 1 month? Therefore, I can get more medication in my body and I won't have to take the medication for as long. I do weigh a little bit over 60 kilograms. I'm kind of on that cusp. I'm probably like 61, 62 kilograms, around there. So I was originally, and I still am, on the 50 milligram treatment because I felt that 60 kilograms, or 60 milligrams, excuse me, might be a little bit too much just because I am barely 60 kilograms. But I told him, I weigh 60 kilograms. If it's just for a month, and it gets a little bit worse, I can tough it out for a month just to be done with this damn stuff. And he said, yes, that's a good idea. I agree. Let's do that. And I thought, great, that's awesome. We came to an agreement. I can tough it out for the last month and not have to take it for 6 months, only take it for 5. After I left the doctor's office, I went to the mall, and when I sat down, I was just rearranging the things in my purse. I was trying to put his prescription in a place I wouldn't lose it so that I can bring it to the pharmacy. And when I looked at it, I realized that he had written me the same prescription I'm already on. I thought it was pretty clearly communicated that I was going to do 60 milligrams for 1 month, but he ended up just writing me 50 milligrams for 2 months, like I have been doing. Maybe he just felt that 2 months would be better in case I fall behind, or just in case 40 days isn't quite right. We just kind of did a rough estimation. I wasn't about to call the doctor's office or go back to him and complain or ask or inquire, just because I honestly don't care enough. I was so tired. It's like a million degrees, and I'm just so fed up with him just over time that I just felt this is the same thing I'm on. It's not going to make a bloody difference, and if I don't want to take the last 20 days by the time I'm almost at the end of that 6 months, then I really don't have to, and there's nothing that he could do about it because I would technically be done. So that's how that went, and that's kind of how it goes every single time I'm there. Something goes wrong, um, and he's just not quite the right professional for me, I feel. But fortunately, I am pretty independent. I'm a little bit older. I've done my research on the medication. I try my best to take care of myself, and so fortunately for me, I've been doing very well just on the medication on my own. But again, if you're younger, or if you have a lot of questions, or you're afraid of this medication and what it can do to you, it's really going to help to have a great dermatologist, a great doctor, really anybody, any kind of healthcare professional, or anybody that you can talk to that knows about this stuff. But that's all right. I'm almost done. I'm happy. I'm happy regardless of how it went. I'm happy that it's almost done. I'm happy that this whole treatment is just going to be finished. My face is going to look great forever, and yada yada yada. So that's pretty much all I have to say. And hopefully I'll do an update again soon, although I don't know when. Just depends on how things go. The weather is getting hotter. It's really hot in here. It's been hot all day, all week. It's been horrible. So as the weather gets hotter, that might affect how my skin is and how my treatment is as well. So we're going to have to see how that goes. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this crazy ramble. Just something a little bit different rather than the actual Accutane update itself. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.